Now, first, I would like to thank you guys for being awesome. Thank you for all of your support, and thank you for sticking with me over the last 3 or 4 years. I started with Evecos back in August of 2019. I was invited for the first ever alpha test of the game, and back then the game was so much different, but honestly it's been an amazing journey so far, and I have to thank you guys for making it awesome. Without you it wouldn't be the same. It is time to undock and do some solo PvP. I will be flying the iconic ships like the Arby, the Ortus, the Cinnabal, and many more. I managed to get some very good fights for you, and I hope that you guys enjoy. So with that being said, let's jump right in the combat. The first target for today will be a Gila. Now usually against a Gila I pick my Cinnabal or Vigilant, but this Gila is a little bit special. This Gila has a lot of stabs, so I have to destroy the ship before they can warp out, and the Macarial just so happens to have enough DPS to do that.
Warp drive
Last time
active.
I tried to tackle that pilot, they escaped with me having 3 scrammers on them. So I think I should be able to destroy the ship before they can warp away with triple webs. There's a trick that can actually buy you some time if you have a lot of webs on the target. And well, the Macarial is a oversized cruiser, so yeah, it just works that way. Okay, well that wasn't a good warping. I landed a little bit far away, but it is well within the range of the old cannons. Okay, Gila has been webbed, barrage implant engaged. That is a very tanky cruiser. Usually a cruiser will not survive this long against a Macarial, but yeah, it is a Gila and they are known to be tanky. Okay, let's warp out. That was a very good catch. They did try to warp out, but the trick with webs
Warp drive
worked.
active.
And I think the Gila has been webbed by the other pirate ships, at least one web. So technically the Gila was quad webbed. Well, how many stabs did they have? Well, we are about to find out. I changed the build on the Macarial a little bit. Now I have one adaptive most of the time. Although sometimes I also use quad gyro stabilizers. 1.6 billion. And they had a tank build, a Sentinel core, and 2 stabs. Interesting. How did they go to the next target? We have a worm.
Warp drive active.
Now, I usually pick the Stratius against faction frigates, mostly because the Stratius can lock them down and web them down before they can warp away. And the Stratius is also very sneaky, and there is the worm, perfect warping. Let's engage. I have to be quick. They are using an afterburner. Webbed, scrambled, and now let's orbit at 0. I also have a micro warp drive, just so that I can catch them on time. And the worm has decided to
We're under attack.
aggro. And I think I'll lose a drone. Yes, I lost a drone. Oh well.
Attack.
I destroyed the worm. But I had to sacrifice one of my drones. Okay, let's swap out. I think I should be ESC positive.
Shield damaged.
Although that
Warp
one
drive
drone
active.
is now gone, and I'll have to replace that. This is why I don't like to use drone boats in PvP, because all players always target my poor drones. Oh well, it happens, so not a big problem. Let me align myself towards that point in space, and then I can show you the kill. Let's take a look at the kill. 703 million. Oh, a PvP worm. And yeah, the loot drops were not the best, unfortunately, but still a pretty good kill value. A Voyage Nellocore, a golden one. I think they panicked and they forgot to use the Voyage core, but overall that was a good kill. Okay, let's go to the next target. I have jumped in the Stabber 2, or well, I nicknamed the ship the Vagabond because of its similarities with the Vagabond. I really hope we get
Warp
an actual
drive
Vagabond
active.
in the game. I will be flying that ship and I will enjoy it. That thing is a very good ship, and the Stabber 2 is definitely a very, very fun to fly cruiser. I mostly use this ship for solo PvP. I will use the Vagabond for solo PvP as well. And our first target with the Stabber is a Hurricane. Excellent warping. Orbit will be at 17 kilometers. This ship is built to be a tank. Now, I'm not really sure what happened with my build. When I did some tests before, I figured out that my ship isn't lasting as long as it used to be. It lasts about 3 minutes, around 3 minutes, but it used to
We're
last
under
5 to 6
attack.
minutes. And I'm not really sure if I did change the build or if some of the modules have been changed in any way, but this ship used to be able to fight for 50 minutes straight if I'm super careful, so I'll have to change the build on this ship at one point in order to get the capacitor runtime back up, but for now I'll be using this ship with this exact build. So the idea behind this ship is to outlast your targets, and basically this Stabber is built to be an active tank, just like the Vagabond. Very cheap, an extremely cheap ship. I will show you the rigs another
under
time.
attack.
No, I locked the Dominics because I feel like the Hurricane's capacitor is also running low. So I will use that Dominics as a capacitor battery very soon. The Hurricane has very good DPS. The Hurricane is a tier 8 battlecruiser and they are known to be very dangerous. And I'm basically orbiting in the Hurricane's optimal range. The Hurricane has a bonus on the range of the turrets. So
Warning. Capacitor
they are
running low.
applying most of their damage to me. My optimal range is about
We're
15
under
kilometers, but I'm orbiting at about 16 because that is about the optimal range for my Nosferatu, which has a general unit on the output boost. The Stabber 2 is the fastest cruiser in the game, and speed tanking works flawlessly on this ship. The Hurricane is now in low shield. They're taking some armor damage from time to time, but they are mostly in low shield. They seem to tank at about 10 to 15% shield. Occasionally I'm doing some armor damage. My capacitor did go up, now at about 59%. The shield is holding really well. I'm doing armor damage on the Hurricane while occasionally boosting my own shield. I have some really good stats
We're under
on the
attack.
resistance. These ships have been buffed recently, and that buff made the tier 10 assault cruisers really fun and really good. Okay, capacitor at 43%, shield at 86%. The Hurricane is boosting shields, although did I just see them boost armor? I mean repair armor. Well, that's interesting. Now the Hurricane is moving away from the Dominics, so that means my capacitor battery will be out of range at one point.
Warning. Capacitor running low.
So I have to take advantage of the Dominics as much as
Warning.
I
Capacitor
can.
running low.
Shield at 75%. The Hurricane is now into low armor. They also have some hull damage. I don't think that they are repairing armor. They are only boosting shield. Not really sure why I thought that they have been repairing armor. Capacitor at 36%, my shield at 48%.
Warning. Capacitor
The
running
Dominix
low.
is now away from the Nosferatu range, so I can't use the Dominix for the capacitor anymore. That means I have to rely on the Hurricane's capacitor,
We're
which
under attack.
seems to be depleted as well. I think the Hurricane has a capacitor battery, but I think I will just rush the Hurricane and use the remaining barrage to blow up the ship. Yeah, they're now in low hull, and I can approach and just quickly eliminate the ship. Okay, and the Hurricane has been destroyed. Nice. That was a very fun one. And I got some C-types.
Shield
Excellent.
damage.
Just what I need. And let's warp out. That was a good fight.
Warp drive active.
Now you see what I'm talking about the capacitor. My capacitor used to run a lot longer, but I think all of the recent patches, balance changes, module changes have changed my overall capacitor runtime on this ship, and that means that I have to change the build on this ship. But regardless, it was a
Warp drive active.
pretty good fight. Well, I wasn't imagining things. They did repair armor. Okay,
Warning.
well,
Capacitor
that was a
running
pretty
low.
cursed build. Okay, let's go to the next target. We have a Brutus. Alright, that's gonna be fun. Stabber in
Warp drive
warp
active.
preparation. There is a lot of neutrals in local, not really sure what's going on. Could be a trap, who knows? Okay, I am landing in the mission. And there is the Brutus. Locked. Wait, what? It was locked. Oh well, bad luck. That means time for plan B. Time for a logoff trap. I have been doing
We're
the
under
logoff
attack.
traps quite often, although I haven't been doing them properly. A proper logoff trap is done when you have
We're
an alt.
under attack.
When you have an alt who is watching when they warp, so that you can warp, so that you can
Under
log in when they
attack.
warp, so that you can catch them. But my alt currently is offline, and I'm just logging out without any
Warp
eyes
drive
on the
active.
Brutix. So a little bit risky, but you know, perhaps it might pay off. Alright, so logging in after about 5 minutes. Let's see if I get lucky. Well, ship is alive, okay. And they left. Well, that's okay. I will wait. I have patience to wait. If plan B doesn't work, well then we do plan C. Now eventually the Brutix came back, and I rushed to go to the Brutix as quickly as I can.
Warp drive active.
There is still a lot of neutrals in the local, and the scanner is clear, and the stations are also empty, so I have no idea where they are. And there is the Brutix, aligned. Yes, they're aligned. Ah, that was a second tackle fail. Now I think they warped somewhere in all these belts. Let me see if I can
We're under attack.
Warp drive active.
go and catch them. No, the Stabber is fast. It's a very fast little ship, so I should technically be able to land before them. Well, I probably missed the belts. Oh well. Not really sure how the first... Like, I locked the ship for the first time, and the modules just did not want to activate. Well, I was just...
Warp drive active.
that was just some bad luck. And they left again, okay.
Warp drive active.
Time for attempt number 3. Warping back to the location. This time I warped right when they popped in local, so there is a good chance that I land before them. We're about to find out. And yes, I did. Well, this Brutix is about to have a very bad day. Well, third time wasn't a charm, but fourth time was. The Brutix has been tackled. I will orbit at 16 kilometers. They have been pointed. The large Nosferatu is supplying my ship with capacitor. Brutix lost shield. Now the Brutix is in armor. It looks like this Brutix is a shield tank, which is a bad choice because the Brutix is an armor tank, has a bonus on armor repairs. Actually no, this Brutix is a shield and armor tank. Well, okay. Now this Brutix is going down much faster than the Hurricane. The Hurricane, I think the Hurricane had some good skills for the ship. They had a lot of hit points, and actually no, I think it's mostly because they had a capacitor battery to supply them with the capacitor, and they also had a Nosferatu. So I think the capacitor battery and the Nosferatu on the Hurricane did help them a lot in surviving for a very long time. The Brutus is now into hull. I maintain my 16-17 kilometer orbit.
We're under attack.
And the Brutus has been destroyed. Nice. That was a good catch. Let's loot the wreck. And I got some C-types. Nice. Just what I need.
Warp drive active.
Now I'm very curious to take a look at that Brutus that fit that the ship had, because I'm 100% sure that they had both a armor repair and a shield booster active, which is a cursed build. But let's take a look at the build just to be sure. Okay, 208, and yes, they had armor repair and a shield booster. Looks like a PvP Brutus, a very weird PvP Brutus. Okay, let's go to the next target. We have a Caracal Navy. Why are my modules all over the place? I have no idea. But that was I have rearranged them pretty quickly. Orbit set at 14 kilometers. A Caracal Navy should not be a big threat, but you never know. Could be a bait, so always proceed with caution when you are engaging these ships. Okay, tackled. Orbiting at 14 kilometers. Orbiting at 8 kilometers. A little bit closer for this ship. Against ships that might be a threat, I maintain a orbit that is away from the webs. But when the target should not be a big threat, I can afford to go a little bit closer. After all, my accuracy fall-off starts at about 30 kilometers on this ship, so I can basically orbit between that distance just fine. And the Caracal Navy has been destroyed. That was a very nice one. Let's warp out and let's check out the wreck. I mean, let's check out the kill.
Warp drive active.
Now I can just fly the Cinnabal and basically burn down all of these ships with the barrage implant and with high DPS in seconds, but I have decided to have some fun and do the old school way of PvP. Basically, I decided to fight for longer periods of time. Okay, I wasn't a very expensive Caracal. So old school way of PvP, old school if PvP usually takes a while and yeah, is usually a lot more fun than just
Warp drive
flying
active.
ships with 5000 DPS and melting everything in 5 seconds. I have much more fun flying the Stabber 2 than the Cinnabal, just because this thing can fight for so long, and the fights that you get with this ship are so fun. Now, this is going to be a very interesting chase. So I landed at 70 from the mission beacon, but the Oracle already burned away. And they're using the beam lasers. This is the situation where if I had a micro warp drive, I would have caught them. but I had an afterburner because when I scouted this oracle, it appeared like they used pulse headers. So against an oracle that uses pulse headers, I'm orbiting outside of their web range because
We're under
pulse
attack.
headers on that ship can be very dangerous. But turns out they have beam lasers, so
We're under attack.
my idea failed. So I just am going to attempt another lock trap, and hopefully they return
Warp drive active.
about this distance. Now this oracle also had a very weird orbit. For some reason they would warp close and then burn away towards an object or towards a point in space, which isn't a good idea to do with beam lasers because beam lasers are not good at close range, but I don't know. Not really sure what type of tactic they are trying to do. In any case, my job is to catch them, and they changed the warp pin and they were aligned. Okay, that was a failed logoff trap. Well, time to... I think it's time to swap the ships. I picked the Ortus. The good old killer Ortus. This ship is wild. One of the most fun ships that I flew in the last 1 or 2 years. And my logoff trap is... yeah. They were quick to align towards the gate. Okay, fair enough. Actually, let me check out the planet.
drive
Perhaps they warped to the planet. If I'm lucky, I might actually catch them on the planet. Let me see. I'll warp back to the mission again. Oh, they actually here on the planet, but they
Warp drive
warped to
active.
they warped to the gate. Oh well. If I knew, I would warp to 0 on the planet and I would catch them. Okay, warping back. They vanished for like 30 minutes from the system, not really sure what was... Uh-oh. Well, this is not good. A garmor, and I have a kite built. Well, I might be in trouble here. Let's try to dip
Warp
before
drive
they
active.
they decide to... Yeah, okay. That was close. I have a kite built against a battlecruiser. Well then. That gave me enough time to reship and change the build. Now I have a anti-garmor build, and let's go back and pay the garmor a visit. The mission says, the scanner says oracle. There is no oracle in the mission. It's a garmor. The guy
drive
decided
active.
to change the ships. Well, I changed the ships, so... and I changed the build, and now I can play with that little frigate. That was a... yeah, if that garmor would engage me there, I would probably be in trouble, because the medium missiles will probably not apply much damage to that frigate. Okay, let's burn with the micro warp drive. Or not. Okay, well. Guess the cat and mouse game continues.
We're under attack.
Fair enough.
We're
If the game would just let me safely log in space, that would be good. And of course, okay. You know what? Let's not do the safe log off. Let's just warp away. Yeah, I'm getting torn to shreds by those ships. Let me warp away.
Warp drive active.
The Ortus has no tank, and these things are shredding me for some reason. Well, I said that I'll do old school way of PvP, and well, this is basically old school Eve Echoes PvP, just as it used to be 3 years ago. And I have to admit, I'm having more fun doing this than flying ships with 5,000 DPS. Okay, let's
Warp
go
drive
back.
active.
Fingers crossed that they are inside of the mission. Perhaps they feel lucky, I don't know. They changed from the Oracle to the Garmor, which is a more valuable kill, so... And there is the Garmor. Let me burn towards them. Now they are 65 kilometers away from me. And by the looks of it, they have normal small missiles. Oh, I guess he is approaching to engage. Webbed, scrambled.
We're under attack. We're being warp scrambled.
Okay, that little Garmor had a lot of
We're under
alpha damage,
attack.
as expected from a Mordu ship, and I got some very nice. I got some ship debris. That was lovely. Okay, let's warp out. That was a
Warp
That
drive
was a good
active.
chase. In the end, it did pay off. I actually got a better kill than I expected. I thought that I'll be fighting a Oracle, but turns out I was fighting a Garmor. And I'd rather kill a Garmor than a Oracle. More expensive. Let's take a look at the kill. 474 million. A cursed Garmor. Oh no. Poor ship. And I got a Mordu Legion ship debris. Nice. That was a good chase that paid off in the end. Next targets. What do we have here? Oh, a Raven. Now this fight is not completely solo, although for the most
Warp
part
drive
it
active.
is, because I had basically no support in the fight with the Raven, because the Raven kept burning out and only my ship was able to catch them. So for the most part, this is going to be a very weird 1v1. Well, 1v1 with spectators at this point. But well, I have yeeted my stabber tool at this Raven, and let's see what happens. Orbiting at 19 kilometers, they are not warping away,
We're under
which
attack.
means that they don't have stabs, or that they think that they can take me on. Now I think the Nosferatus have been buffed, because you could see my capacitor take massive hits from the Nosferatus of the Raven. They are using rapid missiles, so they are using a good weapon system against a cruiser. Rapid missiles are basically designed to be used against smaller ships. But I'm going through the shield. My capacitor is running low. I have one Nosferatu. The Raven has two of them.
We're under attack.
And seems like they can't... Well, the shield is going down slowly. My shield is also going down slowly.
Warning.
Triple
Capacitor
Nosferatus. Yikes, that's a lot of Nosferatus. Well, yeah, one spectator over there. Again, none of... I'm the only ship that's able to keep up with this Raven. And the other ship doesn't have enough speed to catch them, so yeah, I'm all alone against that Raven right now. However, I have to admit, I am very, very happy with the tank on this thing. It is working flawlessly. One thing that I don't like is the capacitor. The capacitor is not in a good shape at all. Now here I'm trying to take some range and orbit back to go to the optimal orbiting distance of 19 kilometers, but yeah, I will be running out of capacitor and out of afterburner. Okay. Still tanking. Still holding really well. The Raven is also slowly going down. I think the Raven is also out of capacitor. The other ships are too far away from for me to use them as capacitor battery. I'm basically stuck with the Raven's capacitor. I think they are using the Nosferatu on my drones, which used to be working a long time ago, but now you can't use the Nosferatu on drones. It doesn't work. You can't use that trick anymore. Had enough capacitor for one shield booster cycle. They are still using Nosferatus on my drone, but that's not working. That's not working. Used to work, but not anymore. I am on just a little bit shield left. That was one shield boost cycle that I could afford. Adaptives have to be running as long as possible. My damage control is back in action. Trying to find a good warp out at this moment. Shield at 13%. %2 shield left, damage control active. I'm buying as much time as possible. Now having the shield adaptive shield hardness up would be a waste because now I'm in armor. I managed to pull one shield cycle, shield back at 14%. I bought some time. The Raven is now in low armor, but I'm also in armor. Well, still in shield, but yeah. Shield is gone and I have no capacitor left. Time to warp out. Yeah.
We're under attack.
Time to warp out.
Warp drive active.
That was a good fight. Unfortunately, the capacitor on this ship isn't what it used to be. And I have to improve it. If I knew that before flying this ship, I would probably already change the rigs. But in any case, that was an awesome fight with that Raven. I enjoyed it from start to finish, and the
Warp drive
good
active.
fight to the Raven pilots. They were awesome. Very good sport. We chatted a bit later in private chat, and we both were having a blast in this fight. We shared a good fight, and basically we both had a lot of fun. Oh well, now I have to boost up the shield.
We're
No, perhaps I
under
could have
attack.
risked a bit more my sleeper core kick back, and perhaps I could have used that to fight a bit longer, but I just didn't
We're
trust
under
the
attack.
armor of this ship. The armor is not the best on the Stabber. It's not a armor tank ship. At least the Stabber 2 is not a armor tank ship. And now, the legendary Arby. I haven't been flying this thing in so
Warp
long,
drive active.
and I feel bad that I didn't fly it for so long, because the Arby is basically the ship that started it all. And I have a very special place in my heart for this ship, and I'll fly it a lot more often. Now the first target with the Arby will be a Vexor Navy. I said I'll do the old school way, and I'll do the old school way.
Warp drive active.
Warping out so that I can decloak. And now I will warp back in to engage the target. This tactic is 4 years old, and I love it. The only difference is
Warp drive
that
active.
I used to do the same thing in anomalies, from anomaly to anomaly. Now I basically use a scanner. In some cases I still go from anomaly to anomaly, but now the scanner is much more efficient. And let's engage the Vex Navy. I have 2 tracking disruptors and 2 points. I rely on the disruptors to avoid taking any damage. That's how the Arby should be used.
We're under attack.
They have engaged me very quickly. Okay, nice. I'll maintain a 22-kilometer orbit. Those drones have some very nasty DPS, but that's fine. I am a armor tank. They are shooting me on thermal. I should be good on armor.
Shield damaged.
And the Vexor Navy has been destroyed. Nice. Let's loot the wreck. And let's warp out.
We're under attack.
Warp drive active.
That Vexor had a lot of DPS. The Vexor class ships do have pretty nasty DPS, and they can be very interesting, and they can be very surprising ships. Okay, let's take a look at the next
Warp
target.
drive active.
Well, the Vexor is back. Oh well, I guess it is time for a round 2. Warping out so that I can decloak, and now I will warp back in.
Warp drive active.
Enemy ships detected.
There is the Vexor. They started a new wave. They're using a micro warp drive. Okay, fair enough. I also have a micro warp drive. Pointed drones are out and now orbiting at 20 kilometers. I have to be careful not to let them
We're under
go
attack.
outside of my disruptor range. The hammerheads are on to me again for a second time. But this time I was fast this time, so I'm not going to take too much damage,
Shield damaged.
I think. Well, I am in armor. Okay, fair enough. And the vexor has been destroyed. Nice. Let's loot the wreck.
We're under attack.
And let's warp out.
Warp drive active.
Well, the Arby still has it in him. This little boat is still as fun as I remember it to be. And well, with that being said, that will be it for this little special video today. I will be doing, I think I already have another solo PvP in the works. I mean, it depends on how many targets I catch, but I really do want to go back and fly the Arby like in the old days, and I think today definitely felt like that. Felt old school, and I really enjoy that. I mean, the Stabber 2 is also a fantastic ship that I will have to improve, and I'll definitely fly them a lot more. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. If you would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, stay safe, fly safe, and as always, I'll see you next time.